Oh, hi there. Today we're turning ideas into realities. We're crafting laser cut bases for miniatures, and then we're hitting Etsy. So, first problem. I used to use CorelDraw for everything, but then when I burned out last year, I had to cancel my subscription, and, well, I really liked Corel, but in the end, I just couldn't afford it. But I do happen to have Affinity Designer, which is another vector-based design program. I got this on special when it was released, version 2.0, and it was cheap. I mean, super cheap. I think I paid $100 for designer, photo, and publisher, and it's a perpetual license, so no monthly subscriptions to worry about. And I like the software. And BT dubs, this isn't sponsored. You could totally do this with Inkscape, which is totally free, but I have Affinity Designer, so that's what I'm going to use. Anywho, my problem is that my files are in Corel, but if you don't have a subscription, then Corel locks you out of saving, exporting, printing, anything that is useful, which is kind of crappy of them, I think. But Affinity Designer will import lots of files. Well, except for Corel files. So I just need to find a way to convert Corel files into something else, which would be super easy if I had a Corel subscription. But I don't, and I digress. With a bit of Googling and testing different file formats, I finally found one combo that worked. This website will convert Corel CDR files to Adobe Illustrator AI files, which Affinity Designer can import. So, bada bing, bada boom, import into Affinity, and we're done. Well, not really. We're actually just getting to the point where we can finally cut some stuff. Or so I thought. Turns out there's a weird gremlin when using Affinity Designer with an epilogue laser. You have to set the page orientation to portrait, not auto or landscape. No matter what orientation your artboard is, you have to set it to portrait. That took me 15 minutes to figure out. So here's my laser cutter doing its little dance, cutting through materials like a hot knife through butter, but as life teaches us, not everything goes as planned. Oh, and if you got a second, give that little thumbs up button a little rubbing. It likes to be touched. And now here's our first oops moment. A couple of bases thinking that they're too cool for school and just won't fit right. But we're not giving up that easily. Back to Affinity to take off about a 32nd of an inch on one and a 64th of an inch on the other. And then we run it through the laser again. With a little magic and maybe some muttering under my breath, we've got the perfect fit. It's moments like these that make you feel like a wizard. Alright, so time to get some product shots. I mean, if you can't show it off right, then did you even make it? Now, I think we need to dress these bases up with some miniatures. It's like a fashion show, but for tiny inanimate models. Gotta make them look their best for their Etsy debut. Now, I don't have the time or, well, let's be honest, the skill to make these look awesome, so I'm gonna slap down a layer of black gesso and then dry brush with a bit of white to bring out some details. It's not perfect, but it'll do. And there they are, the final products ready for their new homes. These little beauties are more than just wood and laser. They're a piece of me. So that's it, folks. Next time we'll be talking numbers, sales goals, profit, loss, all the really boring stuff, unless you're like me and really like that kind of stuff.